So this is what we're aiming for. You'll notice that really only a little bit of the planet is actually visible. Most of it is in darkness because this is still the blackness of space, and also we don't want to take away from our subject matter later, so all of this is still kind of the background. We still want it to be low contrast. So I am trying to get to my tools here. Let me move my windows over. I'll take that off. So you should have your galaxy sky from last week or from homework catching up during the week, and I'm going to make a new layer. Call this planets. I'm going to get my circle snap grid up at the top here, and it'll probably start in the corner, which is very unhelpful. So we have to click that little dot, and then we'll be able to move it wherever we want our planet to be. I'm going to stick it on this galaxy cloud here so it'll be easier to see. And we can pick any color to start with. We'll be changing them later. So I'm going to pick something bright, easy to see. Grab my pen. Take the size down to maybe 6 or so. Something where you have a line. And I'm going to make kind of a big planet so you can see what I'm doing. I draw my circle and then I turn off my grid. That'll give you a perfect circle. You can try and do it freehand. You can try to draw your planets if you want. They'll probably come out a little wonky like that. So that's where I go up to the top, click that circle grid. It's going to be in a place you don't want it. So you take that dot, move it around, tap, and then you draw your planet.
Oh, okay. I got it. All right, I've managed to get a circle grid now.
All right.
That's all I've managed, though.
That's I'm going to pause here until.
Well, I go back and do another one. I want
another one, sure.
How do I snap and do that? I got the grid. Okay. Grid.
You move it where you want it by clicking the dot. The dot allows you to place it.
Oh, what dot? Oh, that dot.
Yeah, it's dot way up here. We're right next to the pull down menu. You slap it somewhere with a click.
All right.
You can follow one of these dotted lines if you want, but really you can draw in between them also, and it'll still stay in a perfect circle.
What tool do you have?
I have the pen just so that it'll be opaque. If I use my pencil and I do a light sketch, we've seen this with line art before, and it's faded, then you'll be able to see stars through it. Don't want that.
So I have a pen, regular pen, but when I draw, I put it down and pull and it turns into a circle. I can't follow around to draw a circle.
It's making a circle as soon as you touch down?
Yeah.
Up at the top here, does it say freehand?
No. It says ellipse.
That's why.
All right, let's go for freehand. Let's go Control C, and now we will use the freehand to draw a little circle. Okay, that worked.
Excellent.
All right, we're going to do 2 of these, a couple of these.
I was going to go through the process over and over rather than do 3 at a time. Does that make sense?
All right, so I got one.
All right, so then I want to fill in the color. I could do that. First, you have to take off your grid. Make sure you take off your grid.
Okay.
We can do that by coloring it in manually, but nobody wants to do that. We want to get our paint bucket. But we have to remember that up here, it's automatically going to be set to canvas. What does canvas mean? The paint will stop at anything on the canvas, and I don't want that. I want it to stop for anything on the layer by itself, which for us only has, if I take off my other layers, that's the only thing that exists on that layer, and it will fill it in completely. One click, no problem.
Success.
All right. Now we get to pick the actual color we want for the planet. And no matter what color you choose on our rainbow slider here, we want it to be somewhere kind of at the first third, so that when we put our color in, let's say I wanted a yellow planet, I don't want bright yellow, I want kind of a dimmer version of the color. Or if I want a green planet, we'll kind of stick to that green. Or a blue planet, something like that. Whoops, it looks like somebody else wants in. Stephanie's phone wants in. I'm not sure if I have to stop my share to do that. No, I don't. All right, excellent. If I want a pink planet, don't want to be at the top. It just makes it like neon. Kind of want it down a little bit. Subtlety is what we're going for. Once you've chosen your color, we want to add a little bit of variation. So we're going to grab our airbrush. So I have to choose my actual pencil tool.
Oh, we need a pencil for an airbrush? No.
Or I mean this way, because we were on Paint Bucket. If I choose airbrush on Paint Bucket, right, it won't work. Right. So I have to get my drawing utensil.
Oh, good, Kristin, you showed up.
I'm here.
I am driving. I will get home eventually. But okay. My check oil engine light thing went off, so I had to make a quick pit stop.
Understandable.
Drive safe.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I'm listening to you guys, so keep talking, Betsy.
Okay. So our planets right now just looks like a flat circle. That's not very impressive. We're going to add a little bit of atmosphere. Again, you can choose any color you want, but it's usually best to stick to colors that are next to one another. So for example, having a pink planet, I don't want to move my cursor all the way to yellow or green because that's very far away. Close to pink is red or purple. So I'm going to pick a purple and get a slightly lighter color. And I want to airbrush just some little squiggles. We're not going to be able to see most of this, but you'll notice that, whoops, now I'm drawing on my sky. We don't want that. So on our layer window, there's that little box that says clipping, or no, excuse me, protect alpha. Protect alpha protects your pixels. So now when I try to draw off of my planet, impossible. So I'm just going to add some little squiggly clouds, some atmosphere. If you had like 5 hours to spend on this drawing, you might go look at actual planets and how their clouds manifest on the surface, but we don't have 5 hours. So we're going to pretend, blob on some clouds. If you think the color is too harsh, you want it to blend a little more, all you have to do is take your opacity slider right here at the bottom, put it to something like 40 or 50, and get your original color and then just airbrush right over it. Whoops, that was a little strong. Let's go less.
Okay, I don't have that brush control thing.
Brush control should be.
Oh, there it is.
Window. Yeah.
Opacity slider.
Opacity slider.
That's what that is. Okay.
I'll demonstrate with something a little more obvious. Let's say I made this cloud and I go, oh gosh, that's so white. I want it to blend in more with the pink. I'll get my original pink color with my eyedropper. Go back over here where it says 100% and back it off. Maybe in the 20s, and when I paint over it, it doesn't get rid of the white all the way.
Oh.
Just kind of blends it in there. Also depending on how hard you press on your tablet. And now we have a planet with some color variation, some atmosphere. Next, we're going to make a new layer. I'm going to call that new layer shading or shadow. Use shadow. I'm going to keep my airbrush tool and select the color of my sky. And I know that your sky has black in the very corner and then super bright blue in the middle, but we're going to pick kind of a medium tone in between those two. Then on your airbrush control, the top slider is how big your brush is, and you should see a circle get bigger and smaller depending on your brush size. And I want it almost as big as my planet, just a little bit smaller. And move up my opacity to the 70s. And I'm going to start tapping in a shadow over pretty much my whole planet, leaving just a little crescent on one side and a slight rim on the other side. If you accidentally color in the whole thing, or you go outside of your planet, you can just put that layer onto clipping and it'll snap to your planet. Turn your brush to an eraser and just erase out the edges. You can do that instead of coloring in the middle. That's art for you. So many ways to do the same thing.
I love it. I love it. I need options.
Yeah.
Okay, that one didn't work. Next.
Next.
Then we're going to get one more layer. And just like we did with the sky, where we had a layer just to make things glow, we're going to do the same thing here. This is my glow layer. And glow layers are set to overlay. Up in your blending mode, it normally says normal. There's a whole long list of options, but we usually only use multiply for line art. And in this case, for a glow, we use overlay. We're going to get pure white. That means I have to drag my color picker up into the left corner to get pure white. I'm going to take down the size of my airbrush so that it's a small one. And I'll start painting in some areas on the planet that I want to really glow, mostly the outline here. You'll notice it's starting to go off into my galaxy. When I don't want it to do that, I have the clipping layer option, so it'll stay just on the planet.
Hey, I'm sorry. What did you do to make this shade again?
The shading, we used an airbrush.
Oh, airbrush.
Yep. And I chose the color of my sky. So right in here, not like the bright blue and not the pure black, but somewhere in the middle.
Okay,
so again, you're welcome. And I'm just going to make that rim glow. I don't want it to go out over into the shadow because that defeats the purpose. Shadows are supposed to be black or dark. I just want my glow to be on the very edge.
No, get down.
Very edge of that planet. So you did all that work, you look at your drawing and you go, ugh, I don't want that planet there. I wish I had put it in the lower right corner instead. All you have to do is hold down the Shift key and click the 3 layers that we use for planets. So that's the planets layer, the shadow layer, the glow layer. Get your move tool, which is the arrow with the compass that kind of goes north, south, east, west arrows. And we can move all of them at the same time. You can move your planet wherever you want it.
Hey, how did you make the glow around, like the little glow on it again?
We're using an overlay layer with just more airbrush.
Okay.
I'm not watching, but how is an overlay layer different than a layer?
It's the blending mode. So when you have your layers, you can tell the computer that you want it to cause an effect to the layers below it. So the overlay is telling it, I want all the colors underneath to be brighter.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't matter if you painted yellow, red, orange, it'll make whatever that color is just brighter.
Brighter, okay.
And that's it. So we can practice making another planet. What did we do first? We need a circle. How do we make a perfect circle? Thankfully, FireAlpaca has a little grid template thingy that we can position. We can grab our pen tool and we can make a perfect circle. I would like to make it a different size than my first one, either bigger or smaller. Be sure that you're on your planet's layer so that you can draw. And make sure that you take off the protect alpha that we check marked earlier, so that would stop us from coloring outside of the circle. Actually, now we do want to color outside of the circle.
Okay, back. I got my circle grid, but it's not where I want it. How do I move the grid itself around on the screen?
That's that little bullet point right at the end of the list. You have all those options for the grid, and then right at the end, there's a dot.
Yeah.
That dot lets you move. You just have to float it. Yeah, float it wherever you want it.
All right. That was good. That worked for me. So now I undotted it, and now I can draw. So I want a different color this time, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to use green.
Oh, hey Betsy, can I show you like quick before like the class ends? I want to show you guys something.
Sure.
This is appropriate. I'm listening to a book called Sleeping in a Sea of Stars. It's excellent.
Ooh.
I know. I'm not high-tech sci-fi, but this one's good. To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. It's really good. By the by, if you need a good listen.
I will put that on my books of the future list.
So this planet, for me, it came out with a ring around it.
A ring around it.
How'd you do that, Kristin?
A lighter color?
Yes. I changed colors before I filled it, but the fill didn't completely fill it.
Is your paint bucket on camp now? Because we changed it to layer. But if you change your color after you drew the outline, it will have a different colored outline. You'd have to pick the paint bucket.
All right, I'll just leave it there. That's okay.
Okay. So I've got my planet. I need some atmosphere, some color variation. I'm going to slide my slider just a little bit one way or the other, either up to blue or down to yellow. Since I have a green planet, I'll go up to blue this time. Get a slightly lighter color. I want my atmosphere to be soft and squishy. So I get my airbrush and I start doodling on some little variations. And oops, it goes off into the sky. What do? Back it up.
Clipping.
This one's Protect Alpha because it's the same layer. But you could make a new layer for Planet Clouds and then use clipping.
Let's use Protect Alpha. I'm trying to learn. Okay, so we're gonna.
But it is the same idea, just one uses 2 layers, one uses 1 layer.
You guys, I'll see you in the next class. I got to stop now.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
After I have my clouds the way I want them, clicking over to the shadow layer, grab a color from my galaxy, painting in most of that planet.
Okay, another layer, make it fluffy.
Now, when you paint it in, are you still on the very same layer?
No, this one's on the shadow layer. The shadow layers are separate.
Oh, I see. I started a whole new planet. I see. I'm going to go ahead and make that planet.
Wait, oh, I forgot I need to use the airbrush.
I'm totally baffled.
Oh, you mean you made a new layer for your second planet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just you got more layers now.
So now I'm on my shadow. Yeah, I like layers. Layers are great.
And now I make a new layer and it's like overlay or whatever, and then I...
Yep, overlay is for the glow.
Okay.
I use pure white.
Pure, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to use pure white. Whoops. Oh, I messed up on the other one.
That's
oh,
right.
well, I can fix it.
That's why we're doing it repeatedly.
At least I can fix stuff. That's a cool thing.
Okay, so this time I did the whole thing in, so you can tell us again how to remove to get that shadow.
Click your little checkerboard up here, which means transparency, while you have your airbrush. And then it'll erase, whoops, I'm not on my shadow layer. It'll erase. And you go, whoops, I went too far. So you just click back on your color.
Oh, you know what my problem is? Among other things. I was trying to do this whole thing with a mouse instead of
my goodness.
It's no pressure sensitivity. Everything is just like, oh, for a pen. All right. Oh, isn't that fun? That's so much better. Okay, then we went to pure white. I'm way behind. Pure white.
Your pure white.
And now we're on a glow layer.
Now I'm on my glow layer, and I give a little bit of glow to just the very outside edge.
And that's still airbrushing.
That's still airbrushing, yep.
So it looks like it has a really white spot at the, yeah. Is that a different, or that's just where it overlapped?
That's where it overlapped my clouds. Let me take off my shadow.
Oh, I see.
I had a cloud right there, and so the glow is
got it.
That cloud pop.
All right.
And we have time to do it again. I'm going to not narrate anything. Get as far as you can get. And then I will jump in and help.
All right.
I keep trying to put these planets into folders so that they'll be that my thing will be less cluttered. But whenever I do it, it just looks bad. Like it undoes something and it makes it look bad. So I kind of just have to let it be like this.
It might be your layer order.
Yeah, I know. It's like I try to put it in like correct order, but not. It still like comes out wrong.
You can't like drag them and what do you call them? Not reassemble. Reorganize?
Yeah, I'm just trying to organize them.
We have plenty of time. Not even exactly 4:30 yet.
Okay, so if I do this and then this, and the overlay is still there, but now the glow is like super bright.
Luckily, you can adjust that because it's a separate layer. You can just take down the opacity or raise the opacity, or you can partially erase.
Okay, yeah, that does look a little bit better, but it doesn't look as good as when it wasn't in a folder. I don't know
about that.
Oh well. Okay, want to see what I did? What?
Sure. Do you want me to pause the recording or is it fine to share?
Huh? Sorry, what do you say, Betsy?
Is it okay if it's recorded?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I just like to check.
Yeah, okay. Here.
Need anything?
No, thank you.
Whoa!
Hey, those are some good looking planets.
Oh, your planets look great.
Thanks.
Ah.
What? I said thanks.
No,
I know. I'm looking at my own planets now.
Yeah, in comparison.
I don't like that so much, but that's all right. We'll
Yeah, the plants look really nice compared to like the horrible like background because I couldn't figure out like the tools and stuff on here when we first started.
Well, looking at your screen here, it looks like the spray brush is the same as the particle brush. That spray one right there, like that one would probably do some dot stars if you mess around with the settings.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like, yeah, this could do it, but I don't know if I want to like restart this whole thing.
No, just like on a separate layer. Sometimes I'll just try something out and see how it looks.
Tone scraper, running color spray.
Probably shifts colors.
It makes this.
Yeah, but I think it's because you're on white. I think if you had two different colors selected, it might. Maybe? I mean, running color spray sounds like it changes color. I don't know for sure, though.
No, I don't think it does that.
Who named it then? That's false advertising.
Droplet. These are some nice brushes, I will admit. It's cool. Especially cool, like, because I can select, like, pencil, and it, like, has, like, pencil and pastel. So it's like it has, like, multiple options for me to do in different, like... Oh, I can wait, realistic, thick... Oh, I didn't realize there's so many paint options.
For sure.
Oh, man, this is cool. Making new discoveries every day. Okay, yeah, sorry. I'll stop sharing now.
Good looking plant.
I'm not really happy with mine.
Can you do a little screen share and we'll troubleshoot?
Yeah. How do I do that? You have to.
At the bottom, I think there's a green button.
Oh, yeah, screen share. I can do that. Screen share that screen right there.
Oh, wow.
What? I think they're awful. Why? That sounded like it wasn't awful. They aren't as good as yours.
The shadows just look a little dark.
Yeah, and the clouds have been eradicated. You don't see the clouds anymore. Maybe in this one a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. But on your shadow layer,
all right.
Yeah, that one.
I'm really impressed.
Maybe I could get some opacity out of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe if you lighten them slightly.
Oh, you know what? Mine could use me doing that too.
Change that doesn't really. Maybe my clouds are. Let me just turn my shadow and glow off. So I do
colors aren't different enough for the clouds to show.
Aha. Okay.
And possibly have the clouds go off of the. Let's see how this is. Right now they're kind of clustered in the center, but we're going to cover up the center. So if you concentrate on the edges more.
I got it. Okay. Okay. I'll turn
Try out that. See if it works.
I'm going to make a new planet. I'm going to stop sharing so that other people can be there we go. Okay, I'm making
I really like the colors you chose.
It's amazing how well they come out for such a simple lesson.
Yeah.
They pop out. They really 3D on this thing. That I think the clipping does that. It's just brilliant.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick in a third one here.
Oh, we're supposed to do a third one. Oh.
Well, we have a whole almost 20 minutes left, so you can work on the planets you have, or sometimes it's easier just to start over.
Okay, so I'm going to my new layer. All right, very slowly. Okay, I'm having trouble.
Oh, okay, let me stop my share and take a look.
I've just got this stop sign here.
That's probably either the protect alpha is on. Nope, it's not. A stop sign. That means. Oh, it's because your layer is hidden. It doesn't have the little dot on
Oh, there we go. That's it. Thank you.
That's it.
Back to work. That's the simplest things that foul me up.
Yeah.
Okay, I want my airbrush. I want a different color. And toward the edges.
Oh, hey Betsy, did you come up with this lesson plan yourself, or did you base it off of like a tutorial you saw?
I just looked up some pictures of planets and tried to copy them. Unfortunately, there aren't as many tutorials for FireAlpaca painting that I've found. But that's alright. It's all the same, honestly. It doesn't matter if you're using paints or digital or drawing. You're trying to create dark spots, light spots, interesting shapes. It's all the same.
I really like how this final planet I did came out. It might not match the other planets, like shadow-wise, but I'd like it.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that I'm assuming that there's like a sun that's the center of the solar system, and that's why they're all lit up on the same side. Technically, if you had your sun smack dab in the middle, you could put your lighting radiating from the sun, but it's a little more complex. Let's keep it simple first.
Yeah, I'll mess around with the shading a little bit to make it look a little bit more like the rest, but...
I thought you were going to tell us how to twist our planets.
Oh, you could do that too. Since I put mine on the same layer, it'll be more difficult for me.
Aha, yes.
But if they were on different layers, we could just rotate them, and yeah, we could do that too.
Okay, can I show off my thingy? Wait.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait, did I do this right? Let me just fix something. Where? Okay. Yeah, I like this final little planet here.
Oh yeah. I like the cloud atmosphere variation on that one.
Yeah,
I
thanks.
think they all look good. Really nice.
They all look good though.
Thank you. Yeah, this is fun.
So mine, I still feel look pretty dull, but I've about decided that my background is not as dark. That I could have, I played around with a background that was lighter. So really dark background would maybe have helped a little.
There are ways to play around with that.
Yeah, let's go back to layer 1.
Yeah, let's say I go, or maybe I did this in the first lesson, where you think that you wish you could adjust something. You go to the layer in question. Let's say I think my sky is too blue. Control U will bring up the hue, saturation, and brightness. Hue, yes. Remember, is the name of colors, so that will change it on the rainbow. If I want it more green, more yellow.
Oh, now we're having some fun.
Yeah. Saturation, we remember, is how gray or vibrant something is. So if we go way over to the right, that's as bright as colors can scientifically get. And if we take it down to the left, gray.
Ooh, nice.
Brightness is going to make it white or darker. You can go really into dark space there.
Oh, that totally was it.
Yeah. All right.
Pops it out so much better. Okay.
You can do that with any layer. I can come back and change the colors of my planet.
Wow.
Oh, look at that. And you're doing them all three at once because they're all in the same layer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I want to brighten up.
Let's say, oh no, I only wanted the yellow planet to change. We can do that. We just have to lasso it first.
Oh, Yeah.
Then I can do the same thing and only change the yellow planet to something more like pink. And then I go, okay, there we go. Now we got these two sister planets and one little isolated guy. But I don't want that, so I'm going to change it back. Be sure to save your work. Control S.
I have to find a planet that's turned on. All right, let's mess with that planet.
I'm going to put all my planets into a folder named planet. Maybe planets week 2. And just one by one move my layers into that folder so I can close it up when I don't need it. Whoops, but not into that folder.
You know, for an effect, I might have like could you for an effect blur one of the planets to make it seem further away?
You definitely could. You could also get some of your space cloud dust here in the middle to go over a planet. That would take some layer rearranging, or maybe I'll just get my particle brush and spray a new layer on top. Where's my particle brush? Particle, there we go. Well, let's try it. Let's get a new layer. Grab some of that color and spray a little.
Transparent.
Whoops, thank you. Whoops, getting a little stuff going there. Blur it up. Stick it under the glow layer so I can also make parts of it glow.
If a planet has that, doesn't mean something catastrophic is about to happen.
What?
Catastrophic, yeah. But yeah, you could definitely put one way in the distance, blur it up a little bit. It'd probably be less bright of a color as well, closer to the color of the sky.
Ah. Oh dear.
Doesn't sound good. Undo, undo.
Yeah, thank heavens we know how to undo. Oh, I undid my clipping, that's why. All right, so I want to have well, I want to have a folder. So I go over here and I hit folder and nothing's happening.
The little folder button.
Yeah, when I'm hitting folder, it's just taking clipping off.
Let me see your screen. I don't quite know what to do about that.
I don't either. So I've got this terrible looking red planet, and it used to be corrected by putting clipping on it. Oh, maybe in the wrong planet. Oh, there's a folder there. How odd. Oh, yeah, I've got a bunch of folders.
I can delete those one by one. Or just undo. You can do Control Z.
Delete.
Isn't it if you delete a folder, you delete everything inside it?
Nothing's
yeah, but these are all empty, so. I usually, well, it'll prompt you in Photoshop and say, are you sure you want to delete everything inside or just the folder? And then you can choose.
Okay, now where do I put I want my folder, I guess, at the top. Where?
Okay, click one of the layers and then click the folder.
Oh, excellent.
And you can rename it and stick in your planet layers.
Okay, I'm going to put all my planets in there.
And they might get a little funny looking as the layers get out of order, but once you rearrange them, should be fine.
Okay, so they aren't going in. Go into that. Now, that one in. This is working. Okay. I have too many layers.
Well, if you want to consolidate, you just have to put your planet layers above or like right next to each other, then you can collapse them. You just have to group similar things. You can't collapse a glow layer into a shadow layer, but you can collapse glow into glow or planets into planets.
I can't get over how much I love the colors you chose.
Yeah, I always do too. I think hopefully that's a matter of lots of practice. We'll get good at that. We'll know what's going to look good. We'll recognize it when we see it.
I really like the little halo that it's a sort of a halo that one of your planets has.
Yeah, I think that was an accident, but
that was my accident.
it turned out well.
Yeah.
Happy accident.